want to say this again, and I said it last week. Nick has said it too. The Knicks are really now, this series, kind of coming into their own. Because you look at the starting five. I know their depth is an issue. They basically went 7
They
deep
have
last
6 guys they trust.
Yeah, and Mitchell, they throw in Mitchell Robinson.
He's the 6th I'm talking about.
McBride. Yeah, they played 7 guys last night. I mean, Campaign got 5 minutes or whatever.
Took a bunch of shots.
Yeah, and he's had his moments.
Yes.
Detroit will attest to that. But that starting 5 is nice. Like, you legitimately have 2. You had a superstar now in Brunson. Cat is a star, a perennial all-star. And then OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges can get you 20 points. They could average 20 points on different teams, and they're already close as it is. And then Josh Hart is one of the ultimate glue guy role players in the league. And now they're putting it together. They should have never been 0-10 or whatever they were against elite teams in the league. So they're putting it together. Beyond that, they have got to be, and this is for all these other teams, whether Indiana, whoever they face, if they get to the finals, they have got to be maybe the most exasperating team to play in the league. Because in these playoffs, they've shown it. They're like, I know it's New York, not Philly. They're like the Rocky Balboa of NBA teams. Like, they never die. You joked in the second game, too, when Boston's up 20, and they're waiting for the Knicks to feel like, we got our split in Boston, we're going to give up and go back to home and get 2 games. And they never did, and they came back and won. They were down 14 in the third quarter, and I get it that today's NBA, you can come back easier with the three-point shot, but still, playing them, the opponent, you have got to be like, my goodness, are these guys ever going to go away? And then, Nick, finally, on top of that, they're clutch. So you got a team that never quits, and then if they can get close to you, you're in trouble. Because, look, at this graphic, it's not just Brunson. He's the number 1, obviously, in the clutch player. But Bridges, this is the series, fourth quarter scoring. And Bridges has been great.
Mid-range that you love.
The mid-range, I love it. Young boys, mid-range. But look, Brunson's got as many points almost as Tatum and Pritchard.
Yeah, and that graphic's also telling because of who's not on it for Boston. Jaylen Brown not being on it.
Doesn't look great.
And so Porzingis obviously hadn't played a lot, but still.
And, all right. Brew, that was smart big picture analysis that applies to everyone. I would like to go a little smaller to this show.
What? What'd I do?
I want to tell America a story, and then I want you to apologize to everyone. I FaceTimed Wilds during the game.
I love sport.
And this is what he says. Hand to God.
This is true.
I FaceTimed Wilds during the game. The first words out of his mouth. Man, I really like Jalen Brunson. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I wish I could have played the Captain Easy stance graphic over the FaceTime call.
When was this during the game?
Celtics were winning.
Halftime.
Okay. So
here's what I want. I want you to go back in history to the last few days and not do what you did. And I want you now, since you can't do that, to say to the Knicks fans out there, you were wildly disrespectful of them as a team. You were saying the Celtics were bad because of bad luck. The Knicks were bad because the Celtics are awesome. You were banking on Tatum being great, dismissing the possibility, what if Brunson is just as good, and giving the Knicks no chance at any step.
Okay. You really want to do this? We're going to do this right now. We are going to do this because are we serious? This was Nick Wright's title pie. Okay? I mean, the Knicks had 1% chance. And the Celtics, 27% chance. This was going into that series. Okay? This was after this was already taken care of. Knicks already won. Like, this was going into this series. This was the title pie. 1%. The Knicks had the lowest percentage out of every other team. And the Celtics were just 3 points below OKC. We want to talk about giving someone a chance here? Like what? Like what are we saying here? Come on, this was this isn't a take like it's a little bit bad form when you do a take, and I've done it myself. So, but just in fun, when you say like when you take someone's take like months ago, right? Like if this was a take that was from like October or something, this was 10 days ago. So like, what are we saying here? This was, you know, the Knicks I think had just like the day before the Knicks had just won. You know, everything was kind of, you know, falling in order, and this is what we had here. So you can't really call out Wilds for doubting the Knicks. Like when you have them at 1%, you're not in a position. The lowest odds to win the title, and 26 points less than the Celtics, the very team that you're going to be playing. You cannot be now the Knicks guy, and you can't call out people for doubting them. You don't have you lost that ability. Like, what are we doing here? Listen, to me, I talked about this in my previous video with the Knicks, with the herd. You can look at some of these things. I actually think so many of these generic sports takes work so well with the Knicks, and I'm going to explain it. Because they all kind of work. You can say things like in you know, one of my more you know, favorite sayings is you know, talent, you know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Now, let's just say that you think that because it sounds to me that they're kind of saying, yeah, the Knicks are pretty good. They don't really trust their depth. They only go 6 deep or whatever. And it's like, first off, that's the way how pretty much every basketball team is these days. So like, I don't even really know what that means, but they seem to not really fully believe in the starting lineup. But whatever. Let's just say that you believe that some of these other rosters are more talented. Nobody outworks the New York Knicks. Nobody. I mean, that is the most obvious thing ever. They play with such a level of intensity and intentionality that I just don't see with these other teams. And that's just, it's not even a matter of just like never giving up. It's just, they never take a second off. They're just so hyper focused on the task at hand. And it's awesome to watch because you can see how much they care. Watching, like watching them play the Sixers last season, you can see how disconnected the Sixers were and how connected the Knicks were. And I think that actually highlights, because I feel like that was the real, you know, welcome party for the New York Knicks, was that series last year. Because there were games that the Sixers absolutely could have won, but it was just the Knicks' intensity and like, no, we're actually focused in this moment. You're trying to figure out what's going on with 15 seconds left, and the game is all sped up right now. We know exactly what's going on. And then what the Knicks do so well is this organized chaos. Games start to randomly get very frantic at random moments of the game, but definitely near the end of the game, where everything just feels like you're watching it on fast forward. Like everything's so sped up. And that's why and I talked about this a lot these playoffs, that it's so important to have players that truly know what to do with the ball. And it's why the young guys struggle so much, because you need someone. You need to get the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands. You need to get the ball to LeBron, Steph, whoever, because they're the only guys on the court that truly understand what to do. The game is happening so fast, it's so sped up, and they understand, I need to shoot, I need to pass, I need to dribble it, I need to buy time, like whatever it may be. And the reality is that in any given moment, the NBA probably has about like 18 of those players who truly, deeply understand what needs to happen in this very intense moment. And the Knicks just know how to navigate that. You know, they do have high IQ players, and even if they might not be in the traditional sense that we may think of that, they understand the moment. So they're just, and again, this sounds cheesy to say, but they're just so present. Right? Like they're not, there's so many times in games that it's kind of crazy, because you're sitting here watching it and you're like, how do you not know that the shot clock is running down? Or how do you not realize that there's 23 seconds left, or that there's 28 seconds left, and you're acting like there's 22 seconds? Like, it's just like, you're just like, what are you doing? And like, the Knicks just don't have that. So even if you think that they're not as talented, then you would say, okay, the whole NBA as a whole is not working as hard as them. So there you go. You know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But now if you look at it from the other side, where you're just like, okay, well, they are really talented and they work hard. So no one's going to outwork them. So again, it's check, check, check for them. So, and like I said also in my previous video, to me, the Knicks are the definition of this team of just, do work, get results. Like the Knicks are the type of team that you see like high school coaches and college coaches like showing their guys, and girls, what you do, how to work hard. When you put in the time, when you put in the result, you get the results. When you take defense seriously, when you never give up, when you keep fighting, like it's just a perfect example. Like I see it now. I know coaches that I've had in the past would absolutely be referencing this New York Knicks team. And they would be like, look at Jalen Brunson. Nobody wanted him. And Cat was cast aside. And, Mikal Bridges was traded on draft day and this and that. And it's just like, I just see it. I hear my coaches of the past, whether it's, no matter what sport, baseball, basketball, whatever. Like, I just see them referencing this team. It's, put in the work, get results. That is who this team is. And so it's funny, what did you learn about New York? It's like, I learned that about them last year specifically, and it was like, to me, it was like, will they continue this? And obviously the team changed a little bit because they obviously made some moves and brought in Cat, Bridges, etc., and lost some other pieces like DiVincenzo and stuff. And yet, like, they still have it because it's their culture. Like, that's what it is. Like, it's their culture. It's not even just the individuals. Obviously, the individuals make up the culture, but at the same time, it just feels like this is Knicks basketball. And Jalen Brunson can be the face of it, but it's not just him, which makes you way more resilient, which makes you a better overall team because now you can invite new guys into the fold. And there you go. Again, it reminds me of the Warriors. The Warriors were very much high IQ basketball, and it was like, it wasn't just because of Steph or just because of Clay. It became their culture. Everybody understood that when you're playing with this team during this dynastic run for them, it was very much like, hey, we are playing high IQ basketball, right? We are not playing basketball the way how you played in college or the way how you played in high school or when you're playing pickup with your friends. Like, we are playing high IQ basketball. We are going to make that extra pass. We are going to find the open man. Like, we are not here for individual results. Like, we are here for the team, and it becomes the culture. So then you can invite new people. You can even make a Jordan Poole work for a couple seasons, then you move on from him, right? Like, that's how it works. And that's why a team like the Knicks can trade some big pieces that they've had that were foundational pieces for this team and still pick up exactly where they left off. That, it just makes it so much more sustainable and resilient to the ups and downs of a season and especially a playoff series. So I think the New York Knicks have been wildly, wildly entertaining, inspiring, motivating, and it's just like that. That's why my mind automatically goes to like coaches showing the Knicks to high school teams and college teams and stuff like that, because it's just like I've had so many coaches who have referenced teams, the current teams at the time of what to look like, how to approach it, and it's just like, to me, the Knicks are just textbook in that regard. And I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, they're going to win it all and they're going to beat the Pacers and there you go, parade in New York. Like, I'm not going as far to say that 7-game series can, things can always get crazy. And as the Knicks just watch the Celtics, Jason Tatum, unfortunately, can go down in any given second. But to me, it's just, this team works so hard. They understand the moment. They don't let the moment get to them. They put in the work and they're getting the results. Put in the work, get the results. That's I could honestly just sit here and just say that over and over and over again. To me, that is the take. Put in the work, get results. It's exactly what I said in my previous takes, and it's just like, I'm excited to see how long that remains to be true for the New York Knicks. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Knicks? What did you learn about them? What about all the people who are now trying to act like, I always knew the New York Knicks were going to win, I told you so? Funny how that happens. That's what happens. When you start winning, man, everyone becomes a fan. The moment you start winning, you become a fan. So, that's how it is. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.